Robert Downey Jr., drugs land the troubled actor in prison, and he reaches out to a psychiatrist for help.
So Downey, how are you doing today?
Look what you've done to our family.
I know, but why don't you just give me a break? I just need you to be my father for one goddamn day. Just help me.
From the depths of addiction to Hollywood royalty, Robert Downey Jr.'s astonishing journey. From troubled youth to $300 million superstar. His shocking confessions about early drug use, breaking the law, to his success starring in Iron Man and the Avengers and becoming one of the highest-paid actors will leave you speechless. Did you know when he started using drugs? Why he used drugs? What made him get out of it all? And why he was not accepted in films until he became one of the most expensive actors in the world?
Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Today, everything will be discussed on this channel. Let's get started.
Back in the game.
Robert Downey Jr., born in New York, April 4, 1965. He is the second of two children. Robert has an older sister named Allison. As a child, Robert grew up among filmmakers. His father, Robert Downey Sr., is known as a filmmaker who often directs independent films, while his mother, Elsie Ford, is an actress. As a child, Downey was surrounded by drugs. His father was a drug addict and his mother was an alcoholic. His father allowed him to use drugs at a young age. He said that he gave Downey marijuana for the first time at age 6, and that Downey also might have had a little coke as a child. His father later said that he regretted it. Downey stated that he and his father did drugs together for the first time when he was 8, and that drug use became an emotional bond between him and his father. When my dad and I would do drugs together, it was like him trying to express his love for me in the only way he knew how. Growing up in the world of films made Robert fall in love with films. He then made his acting debut in the film Pound, 1970, directed by his father. At that time, Robert was still 5 years old.
The next morning we go upstairs, there's no more furniture, the roof's gone, and so's my hair. That tornado scared me so much it made my hair disappear.
Have any hair on your bowl?
Downey's parents divorced in 1977 when he was 12. He went and lived with his mother in a 5th-floor walk up in New York as she needed him after the divorce, while his sister went to live with their father in California. After a few years, Downey went to live with his father and began attending Santa Monica High School, but dropped out in 1982. At the age of 17, he moved back to New York to pursue an acting career full-time. Downey worked a number of different jobs to support himself while going to auditions, including clearing tables at Central Falls Restaurant, working in a shoe store, and performing as living art at the nightclub area. Meanwhile, Downey got a few parts in local theater and off-Broadway productions. He got his first film role in the 1983 film Baby It's You. However, his scenes ended up being cut.
Here, let me have your blade.
You'll never use it.
Come on, maybe I want to clean my teeth, all right? Let me have it.
Be careful.
Yellow? Later.
As a teenager, Robert, who was serious about pursuing a career as an actor, chose to study at the Stage Door Manor Performing Arts Training Center in New York. Shortly after his parents' divorce in 1978, Robert moved to California and lived with his father. While in California, Robert studied at Santa Monica High School, but then dropped out and returned to New York to pursue his dream of becoming an actor. Robert's youth was a time full of struggle. When he was 20 years old, Robert got a role to play on the television show Saturday Night Live. However, a year after being elected, Robert was fired in order to save the show, which at that time received Nielsen's lowest rating and was criticized for featuring mediocre cast characters. This failure did not stop him from becoming an actor. He also tried his luck in several films, such as Tough Turf, 1985, Chances Are, 1989.
Oh.
Alex.
Alex? Miranda.
And the film which also starred his close friend Mel Gibson, Air America, 1990.
Nah. 14 months of bush flying up in Canada.
Bush flying?
Yeah, bush flying.
In 1992, Robert's name became increasingly known after playing Charlie Chaplin in the film Chaplin, 1992. For this role, Robert made various special preparations, such as learning to play the violin and tennis. He even has a personal trainer who helps him develop a body posture and style similar to Charlie Chaplin. Thanks to his hard work in the film Chaplin, he managed to receive his first nomination for the Oscar Award in the Best Actor category. Unfortunately, Robert was defeated by actor Al Pacino for his role in the film Scent of a Woman, 1992. Successful as Charlie, Robert began to receive many offers to play in Hollywood films, such as Heart and Souls, 1993.
It's not about the radio, it's me!
Only You, Natural Born
Out there in
Killers,
zombie land. Remember anything? It's junk food for the brains. It's, filler, fodder, whatever.
and Richard
This
III.
present speaks, your grace. To you, who have neither honesty nor grace. When have I injured you?
Downey?
in court today?
You can stay with that program. In other words, it doesn't necessarily have to be in sober living. My agreement here was too based on it's very difficult for you to maintain sobriety. You may take a look at a probation report, if you choose, many months ago, in which you rather candidly said you didn't know whether or not you'd be able to maintain sobriety in that business. That's a call you have to make. I believe you can do pretty much anything you want to do, but it isn't going to be my decision. And I have to say, quite frankly, here, we have pretty much exhausted, I think, the rehabilitative measures that we can make here. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Fame at a young age did not immediately make Robert successful. In fact, Robert actually fell into it and became an addict to illegal drugs. Between 1996 and 2001, Robert was arrested several times and underwent rehabilitation.
And was sent back to rehab. But this time, a judge gave Downey hard time, state prison for nearly 1 year.
Okay, I believe that concludes proceedings.
For past several years, he's just going through the revolving door of rehab program and being arrested, which is too sad, such a bright person, and he's not a criminal. He's a victim of the drugs.
Not long after that, Robert revealed his dark side, that he had been an addict since he was 8 years old. Robert added that his father was the first to give him the drugs because his father was also an addict. His father, Robert Downey Jr., regretted his past actions in a 2022 documentary entitled Senior. In the film, Downey Sr. says, "It would have been foolish of us, he and his wife, to share that with our children," he said. Not only was he arrested for possession of cocaine, heroin, and marijuana, he was also arrested for possession of illegal weapons. Robert even went to prison many times as a result of his actions. As a result of his actions, Robert's career as an actor was threatened. In June 1996, Downey was arrested for possession of heroin, cocaine, crack, and an unloaded .357 Magnum handgun while he was speeding down Sunset Boulevard. A month later, while on parole, he wandered into a neighbor's home through the unlocked front door while under the influence of a controlled substance and fell asleep in one of the beds. The family refused to press trespassing charges. The tape of the neighbor's 911 call was made available online, and it became known as the Goldilocks Incident. In November 1996, after spending time in court-ordered rehab, he received a further 6 months of live-in rehab, 3 years probation, and was ordered to undergo compulsory drug testing. In 1997, he missed one of the court-ordered drug tests and had to spend 6 months in the Los Angeles County Jail. After being released, he went into a court-ordered 120-day rehab program. In 1999, after being clean during the shooting of Wonder Boys, Downey relapsed. During this time, he was struggling with legal bills and had lost his house in Malibu. After Downey missed another required drug test in 1999, he was arrested again. Downey was sentenced to a 3-year prison term at the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility and State Prison in Corcoran, California. At the time of the arrest, all of Downey's film projects had wrapped and were close to release. He had been hired to provide the voice of the devil on the NBC animated television series God, the Devil, and Bob, but was fired when he failed to attend rehearsals. While filming the film Firstborn in 1984, Robert Downey Jr. was involved in love on location with one of his co-stars, Sarah Jessica Parker. The couple separated 8 years later in 1991 due to his drug addiction. In 1992, Deborah Falconer met Robert Downey Jr. at a mutual friends party, and they instantly hit it off. Following a whirlwind courtship, the couple got married just 42 days later on May 29, 1992. Despite having a son together, Indio Falconer Downey, their relationship was marred by Downey's substance abuse and run-ins with the law, leading Falconer to file for divorce in 2001. The divorce got prolonged due to multiple issues and was finally finalized in 2004. In 2003, Downey met producer Susan Downey, née Levin.
Her name's Susan. We met on Gothica, which is this film that's open today.
Right.
And she was a producer, but it wasn't all that inappropriate. We kind of waited until after we were done shooting, kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what about her drew you to her, and what about you drew her to you? And
I can't speak for her, though I'd like to. And occasionally I attempt to, and she shuts me down.
Right.
But she's just great. She's really smart, and she's got a good job, you know, and...
The couple's relationship continued after production wrapped on Gothica, and Downey proposed to Susan on the night before her 30th birthday. In August 2005, the couple were married in a Jewish ceremony at Amagansett, New York. In a 2008 article in Parade magazine, Downey Jr. explained, "I was very selfish. I liked to drink, and I had a drug problem, and that didn't sit well with Sarah Jessica Parker because those were the things she shunned the most," he explained. "He gave me a home and understanding. He tried to help me." In 2015, while appearing on Howard Stern's Sirius XM show, Robert Downey Jr. said that he had met his old girlfriend in New York.
We were able to spend some time together, and
Nice.
it was really cool.
Where'd you go?
I went over to her place, and then we went down the street. I actually drove by this place, like some tapas place on the corner with a friend of hers after. And you know, the funny thing too is you always have a perception of somebody that you spend a big chunk of your life with, and I think it's typical. It's a human thing. To the further you get away from that, you're in your new relationship, you subintentionally taint your perception of the person. And then seeing her, I was like, she is so great and so cool and so funny and so in command. And I got to meet her kids, and I saw the way she and Matthew lived, and I respect both of them so much. And I was like, man, it's so weird.
Actor looking fit and smartly dressed in a dark blue suit, white shirt and tie with short cropped hair, did not speak in court. His lawyers entered a not guilty plea, and prosecutors said they were discussing a plea bargain on the drug possession charges that would avoid Downey returning to jail.
In 2001, Robert, who was getting tired of living a life full of problems, was determined to change and take rehabilitation more seriously. Robert's return to the world of entertainment was marked by his appearance in the music video for Elton John's single, I Want Love. The director of the music video, Sam Taylor Wood, praised his appearance, which looked more relaxed and fresh. However, returning to work is not as easy as turning your hand. Several major studios were reluctant to give him an offer because they were worried about Robert's bad habits. In October 2003, Robert Downey Jr. was the focus of an article in the New York Times entitled The Sobering Life of Robert Downey Jr. In the article, it was stated that Downey Jr. was free from all legal burdens. He is not on parole or probation or in a court-mandated rehabilitation program, and it was the first time in 7 years. However, even though he returned to acting as the main character in the 2003 film The Singing Detective, Downey Jr. was still a recovering drug addict. He also lived in a house owned by his friend, composer Jonathan Elias. There, Downey Jr. lived a healthier life, such as practicing Wing Chun Kung Fu and yoga, and taking a drug test, not for the court, but for his ex-wife Deborah Falconer, so that he could continue to see his son, Indio, who was 10 years old at the time. This positive change was a positive form of appreciating his life, which was on the edge, between his old life that is self-destructive or a new life that provides positive impacts, the life that ultimately brought Robert Downey Jr. to achieve his success. In 2007, Downey was cast as the title character in the film Iron Man. Director Jon Favreau.
I am Iron Man.
Favreau insisted on having Downey, as he repeatedly claimed that Downey would be to Iron Man what Johnny Depp is to the Pirates of the Caribbean series, a lead actor who could both elevate the quality of the film and increase the public's interest in it. For the role, Downey had to gain more than 20 pounds, 9 kilograms, of muscle in 5 months to look like he had the power to forge iron. Iron Man was released worldwide between April 30th and May 3rd, 2008, grossing over $585 million worldwide and receiving rave reviews which cited Downey's performance as a highlight of the film. By October 2008, Downey had agreed to star in 2 Iron Man sequels as part of the Iron Man franchise, as well as the Avengers, featuring the superhero team that Stark joins, based on Marvel's comic book series, The Avengers. He first reprised the role in a small appearance as Iron Man's alter ego Tony Stark in the 2008 film The Incredible Hulk, as a part of Marvel Studios depicting the same Marvel universe on film by providing continuity among the movies. His figure was full of potential and the one we know today. Downey returned as Tony Stark in the first of 2 planned sequels to Iron Man 2, which released in May 2010. Iron Man 2 grossed over $623 million worldwide, becoming the 7th highest grossing film of 2010. Downey's other commercial film release of 2010 was the comedy road film, Due Date. The movie, co-starring Zach Galifianakis, was released in November 2010 and grossed over $211 million worldwide, making it the 36th highest-grossing movie of 2010. Maybe as we know it. We know Robert Downey Jr. as a genius and billionaire philanthropist in the film Iron Man. Yes, Tony Stark. We don't know Robert Downey Jr. with his dark past. The first role Downey accepted after Iron Man was Sherlock Holmes in Guy Ritchie's adaptation Sherlock Holmes. Warner Bros. Released it on December 25, 2009. The film set several box office records in the United States for a Christmas Day release, beating the previous record holder, 2008's Marley and Me, by nearly $10 million, and finished second to Avatar in a record-setting Christmas weekend box office. Sherlock Holmes ended up being the 8th highest-grossing film of 2009. When Downey won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association for his role as Sherlock Holmes, he noted in his acceptance speech that he had prepared no remarks because Susan Downey told me that Matt Damon was going to win, so don't bother preparing a speech. In 2020, Downey starred in Dolittle, playing the titular character, depicted in the film as a 19th century Welsh veterinarian who can communicate with animals. It was a box office disappointment and received negative reviews from critics, who called it too long and lifeless. In 2023, Downey portrayed antagonistic bureaucrat Louis Strauss in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. He took a pay cut to work on the film, earning $4 million in lieu of his usual $10 to $20 million upfront salary. Downey would later describe Oppenheimer as the best film in which he has appeared to date. Finally, thanks to the help of his best friend Mel, Robert managed to get a role in the TV miniseries The Singing Detective, 2003.
Actually, I asked Mel to present this award to me for a reason, because when I couldn't get sober, he told me not to give up hope, and he urged me to find my faith. Didn't have to be his or anyone else's as long as it was rooted in forgiveness. And I couldn't get hired, so he cast me in the lead of a movie that was actually developed for him, and he kept a roof over my head, and he kept food on the table.
Mel was even willing to act as a guarantor if Robert violated the contract. Thanks to his performance in the film, Hollywood studio producers began to believe that he had changed and gave him offers to play in big films, such as Gothica, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and Iron Man. After his success playing the character Tony Stark in Iron Man, Robert's name as an actor increasingly soared, and he managed to get the main role in several box office films.
And the Oscar goes to Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. was nominated for 5 Golden Globe Awards, 3 of which Robert Downey Jr. won in various different categories, also in BAFTA Award and Screen Actors Guild Award. In 2024, Robert Downey Jr. won the Golden Globe Awards as Best Supporting Actor in the film Oppenheimer. Robert Downey Jr. finally won his first Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Oppenheimer, after previously, the young Downey Jr. was nominated for an Oscar for the first time for his role in the film Chaplin, 1992. At that time, he received a Best Actor nomination. He lost to Al Pacino's acting in the film Scent of a Woman, 1992. 4 years after his role as Tony Stark, Downey Jr. became the world's highest-paid actor, a title he held for several years afterward. When interviewed by Vanity Fair in 2023, his wife, Susan Downey, said, "He's been through a lot of scenarios, both in his life and his work, and managed to survive. All the things that made him extraordinary and strange when I met him, and made him someone unlike other people I once knew, and still are today." Quoted from Forbes magazine, Robert's role in the Avengers film as Iron Man got paid in gold for his role in the Marvel Universe, earning about $75 million for his role in Avengers Endgame. Today, Robert Downey Jr. stands not just as an actor, but as a symbol of resilience and redemption. His legacy, etched in the annals of Hollywood, proves that even the darkest past can give birth to the brightest futures. If you found inspiration in this extraordinary story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment below on who you'd like us to delve into next. Until next time.